Some of the biggest companies on earth were built on ideas that looked completely wrong at the beginning. A company selling books online, a company making electric cars when everyone said batteries were useless, a company giving away a service for free and somehow becoming worth hundreds of billions. On paper, these ideas looked almost ridiculous, and yet, somehow, they became unstoppable. But here's the strange part. The story we usually hear is about the genius founder, the incredible invention, the perfect timing. But that explanation leaves out something much bigger, because behind almost every billion-dollar company is a hidden battle. A battle over human behavior, a battle over attention, a battle over control. And sometimes, the company that wins isn't the one with the best product. It's the one that understands the system better than everyone else. Most people believe billion-dollar companies win because they create something amazing. And yes, sometimes they do, but that's not the whole story. Because history is full of amazing products that disappeared. Companies with talented engineers, millions of dollars, years of research, and still, they lost. Meanwhile, companies with simple ideas became global giants. Why? Because the real game was never just about making something. It was about understanding something. People, habits, fear, convenience, and the invisible rules that decide what succeeds and what disappears. The product is only the visible part. The real machine is underneath. Imagine the business world like a giant ocean. Most people look at the ships. They talk about the biggest ships, the fastest ships, the most expensive ships, but they forget something. The ocean decides where every ship can go. Billion-dollar companies are often built by people who understand the ocean, not just a ship. Take one of the biggest technology companies in history. At first glance, it looks like a company selling products, phones, computers, software. But the deeper story is different. The real product wasn't just a device, it was the relationship between humans and technology. The company understood something powerful. People don't just buy objects, they buy identity, they buy convenience, they buy a feeling, and once a company becomes part of someone's daily life, leaving becomes surprisingly difficult. But this creates a strange question. How do companies transform from small ideas into powerful systems that influence millions, or even billions, of people? Is it because they are smarter, luckier, better funded, or is there another invisible formula? Because when you look closely, a pattern appears. The biggest companies often don't just compete in existing markets, they quietly change the rules of the game itself. And once the rules change, everyone else starts playing a game they didn't choose. This is where the story becomes interesting, because companies don't just grow by selling more, they grow by creating something called an ecosystem. Think about it like a city. A single building is useful, but a city controls movement. It controls where people work, where they shop, where they spend time. The same thing happens with companies. A product brings people in, then the ecosystem keeps them there. A customer buys one thing, then another, then another. Suddenly, the company is no longer selling a product. It's becoming part of someone's routine. And routines are incredibly powerful because humans are not as logical as we like to believe. We don't always choose what is best. We often choose what is easiest. The company that removes the most friction often wins. The first hidden truth is this. Many billion-dollar companies are not actually selling products. They are selling reduced effort. They are selling fewer decisions. They are selling simplicity in a complicated world. Think about why people return to the same apps every day. Not because every moment is amazing, but because the system already knows them. It remembers. It predicts. It makes choices easier. The company slowly moves from being something you use to something you depend on. And that changes everything. But this leads to an even bigger mystery. If convenience creates massive companies, why doesn't everyone copy them? Why can't competitors simply build the same thing? Because the real advantage is often invisible. It's not the product, it's the network, the data, the habits, the trust, the billions of small interactions collected over years. Imagine two restaurants. One has a menu. The other knows exactly what every customer likes before they order. Which restaurant has the advantage? The second one. Because information becomes power. And in the modern economy, information is one of the most valuable resources on earth. But now we reach the uncomfortable part. The same systems that make life easier also create enormous influence. A company that understands human behavior can help people. It can create incredible experiences. It can solve problems nobody else solved. But the same knowledge can also create dependence. The same algorithms that show people what they love can also decide what they see. The same systems that make choices easier can also quietly shape those choices. And this is why billion-dollar companies are fascinating. They are not just businesses, they are human behavior machines. They study what people want, what people fear, what people repeat, and then they build systems around those patterns. So, maybe the biggest companies in the world were never really built by selling things. Maybe they were built by understanding something deeper, that humans are creatures of habit, that attention is valuable, that convenience changes behavior, and that the company controlling the system often has more power than the company making the product. But here's the question nobody has fully answered yet. When a company becomes so good at understanding people, where does helping people end and influencing people begin? Because the next generation of billion-dollar companies may not just compete for your money. They may compete for something even more valuable, your attention, and whoever controls that might control the future. Final closing statement. The biggest companies in history were never just built with money, technology, or genius ideas. They were built by understanding the hidden forces that move human beings. And the most powerful companies of tomorrow won't simply create what people want, they will shape what people want next.